Okay, so here is my first draft at articulating the vision for round 3 basketball in Sydney and Streetball. And really it's just about the things that I see, and look, you can choose to listen to me or not, but I feel like this will help a lot of people. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I am the most amazing basketball player by any stretch of the imagination, but what I think I can offer is a unique insight into the best information that is available to do with basketball, as I feel like I've researched things a lot, and as someone who's studied for over 10 years in the field of human performance and development, I feel like I'm well positioned to provide insights on human physiology and kind of sift through the crap that's out there and provide my own reflections on getting back into basketball as a player and really getting back into the zone of self-belief. I have my own personal ambitions as a player to elevate myself to another level of playing, but I would rather let my game do the talking in that sense. So, I feel like I've gotten a lot better in the last 6 months that I've really been focusing on things, and it's only up from here. But this isn't about me and what I'm going to do, and if someone would like to hear about me specifically, then great. I'm happy to share that. But to start with, this is all about everyone else that's listening to this, about the user, about Sydney Supersonics, and about what we can provide with that. And so, with that said, I want to start off by setting the vision for our club and what I feel that Streetball can be in Sydney. Now, this is probably going to be quite hard to hear, but it's a starting point nonetheless. So, Sydney 3x3. What is possible with Streetball, and why did we start Sydney Supersonics? So really, I think the most important thing with setting our vision for the club and realizing what we can do is articulating what is being done in the world. Where is Streetball at its best, and where is 3-on-3 at its best? And I think the best example of where 3-on-3 is being played at an amazingly high level is in Serbia. Now, in Serbia, they have 3-on-3 being played across the country in their urban cities, and it's an alternative to 5-on-5, and people are just getting out there and playing. And they recognise, because in Serbia there's a lot of half courts, and there's not the full courts that we see in Australia, and they might not be of the greatest quality, but these little half courts are smaller, so you can't really jam pack kind of 5 versus 5 on those little half courts. So what they worked out is that 3-on-3 is a better way to play, in the sense that there's more room to move, there's more ability to dribble, there's a smaller shot clock, and we provide some resources on how to play 3-on-3 and the logistics of 3-on-3. But if you've ever played it yourself, you'll understand that it's crazy fast, it's chaotic, there's a lot going on, and you can get scored on, and then simply just get the ball out to the 3-point line and shoot a 3, and then you'll completely negate the fact that you just got scored on and actually outplay the person that you just played against. And that is very difficult in 5-on-5 unless you're Damian Lillard or someone who's the man on the team, unless you're James Harden. Whereas in 3-on-3, you have the opportunity. Every player needs to be a bit of a James Harden, a bit of the hero who can step up and hit the big shots. And to start with, for 5-on-5 players, it can be overwhelming. It can be something that is just like, wow, holy moly, this is something that I never thought I would have to be able to deal with. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like 3-on-3 because of that. But trust me, it's something that will grow on you. And as a player, I absolutely love it. As a typical kind of stretch 4, before I wasn't really a stretch 4, I was just an undersized 5. And I mean, some games I'd score points, but other times I wouldn't. And the only shot that I could really create for myself was sometimes an open jump shot from the mid-range point, or a hook shot. Hook shot I was alright at because I was big and I could push people out of the way and shoot that shot. But playing 3-on-3, that's a pretty useless shot, because a hook shot, it's not as high percentage as an easy layup. And in 3-on-3, statistically, the best shot to shoot, if you can shoot it, is a 2-pointer, which is a 3 in 5-on-5 basketball. So a 2-pointer from behind the 3-point line, or the 2-point line in 3-on-3, statistically is the best shot, because it's worth 2 points, and every other shot in the game is worth 1 point. So if you can hit those 2-point shots in 3-on-3, then you are scoring double the amount of points that you are if you're shooting a one-pointer. And in terms of the statistical difference between kind of 3-on-3's 2-pointers and 5-on-5's 3-pointers, so if you did the maths, in 5-on-5, a 2-pointer is 66% of a 3-point shot. So you're getting 66% of a shot. So that's pretty good. You know, the percentage is up there. Whereas in 3-on-3, you're getting only 50%. And in typical 3-on-3 games, because there's more contact, players are shooting it at about, 50% from the field. Typically, from what I've seen, the best players will shoot a bit more than that, but let's just conservatively say that if you're playing 3-on-3, you're probably going to shoot a field goal percentage of around 50% if you're a decent player. And so if you extrapolate that out, then you're really only scoring 25% of the time that you're shooting the shot. You're going to score 1 point 25% of the time if we were talking in terms of shot selection. And so why not take a 2-pointer, and even if you shoot 25% from the 2-point line, you're still going to be scoring as well as if you would shoot a 1-pointer. So the statistics say that you can shoot it at 25% from 3, and it's still going to be about as good a shot as shooting a 1-point shot at any time. Now, that is a crude number, and there's a lot of dirty science and maths that goes into that. But, really, the statistics favour shooting a 2-point shot if you can shoot it well. And that provides confidence, You go out there and you just shoot when you're open. You don't need to think about it. It's just pure instinct, and that is what more basketball players need. A lot of basketball in our country and the systems that I've played in was far too much thinking and not enough flow state, not enough ability to jump into that flow state and simply just play on instinct. And you watch the Australian team play internationally in 5-on-5, and they do great, they do amazing, but you don't really see many Australian players who have this flair or creativity. There are no, even though Kyrie Irving was born in Australia, he didn't really play in Australia, and so there's no Kyrie Irvings in Australia. Ben Simmons didn't grow up playing in Australia. In fact, his dad didn't want him to play in the systems within our country because of the fact that it would stifle his growth and he would be playing in too much of a system. If you read about it, you know that Ben Simmons didn't want to go or spend time in the AIS. I don't even believe he played in state teams in Victoria. And he went over to America and played at Montverde Academy. And, he is one of the most creative players in the game today. And, that was because he was able to play and he was so talented that he was able to do those things. And this is the nature of 5-on-5, is that it benefits the elite. 5-on-5 is for the best players. If you're not the best player, then you're not going to get the time to develop. You're not going to be able to dribble the ball. You're not going to be able to shoot the ball. You're not going to have that confidence because the statistics favour shooting good shots. And so 5-on-5 favours the elite. And that, my friends, is what I really love about 3-on-3. And that is where I want to start this conversation about 3-on-3 basketball in Sydney and the vision that I see. Because, with what Sydney has and what we can do, I see a world or a city where there's streetball going on in every single suburb across Sydney. The numbers show that there's about 650 different suburbs in Greater Sydney. Now that's a crude number, but 650 different suburbs that all should have access to a high quality court or facility that anyone can rock up to at any time. In America, I feel like they're pretty damn close to having that. You go to America, and if you're in a basketball town or a basketball state like Indiana, there's going to be a high quality court in every single suburb. There's probably going to be multiple high quality courts in every single suburb because they recognise the need for that. And they've probably got private backers along with the government. But in Sydney, there's no reason why we can't get that same thing. And we wonder why in some of the underprivileged communities within Sydney and where I'm from in the Central Coast, why there are so many people who are turning to less productive things like drugs and alcohol and just generally causing mischief. And I firmly believe it's because we don't have enough opportunity to do things that are fun. So we just turn to this crap that like makes time pass. We turn to drugs, we turn to alcohol, we turn to causing mischief. It's because like, you know, anyone that's played basketball or done something fun, they'll realise that this is the best thing. Like if you play basketball, chances are the best part of your week is playing basketball. Now I know for me, I've got so many amazing things in my life, and still the best part of my week is playing basketball. And so like, if we can light that fire within people to realise that the best part of their week can be playing basketball, but I think the best part of my week is definitely not playing basketball when I'm playing on a terrible facility and it's an outdoor court and the rim sucks and there's no net and I'm just getting beaten up and I can't shoot it, and it's like, so frustrating. Like everyone knows that the thing that makes basketball fun is when you know that you're getting better and you feel like you're good. And that's why so many people turn to 2K, because you can just jump in and play as LeBron James and be the man. But I digress. You know, the 3-on-3 is a faster way to get there. And if you've ever been to any of our facilities, so if you've been to Blackman Park Court in Lane Cove, shout out to Blackman Park. Lane Cove Council did an amazing job and set up this court. Go there, play basketball there, and you will see what the difference is between playing at the local outdoor court. I mean, it's just like playing in a proper court, a proper 5-on-5 court. When you get there, and I mean, there's no better feeling as a basketball player than being the only one at a fresh court, and you know, seeing the net there, and there's no one around, and you just shoot it up, and you're like, man, I could stay here for hours. That is probably one of the best feelings as a basketball player, and it's so hard to get that in Australia because there's just no bloody facilities around. And so the vision that I see and that we see with the Sydney Supersonics is having those facilities, having the best possible hoop that it doesn't say on the hoop, don't hang on it, otherwise you could cause injury or death, because that is ridiculous. What the hell is the point of having a hoop if you can't hang on it? You know, basketball, one of the most exciting parts of the game is being able to dunk the ball, and yeah, sure, not many of us can do it, but when you can, you're going to want to do it every single time that you can, because it's like a superpower. You're like a superhuman when you can do that kind of stuff. And look, I'm not amazing at dunking. I'm not going to say that I know what it feels like. I mean, I can dunk it, but you know, that's another story. But when you see people that can do it, it's the most impressive thing that you've ever seen. And so you want to see that more. And that's what our courts do. That's what the courts that the Sydney Supersonics provides, you're able to do. You're able to dunk it, and it's got a friendly rim. The rim rolls nicely. You can shoot it and hit the rim, and it doesn't just bounce off and fly away. It's soft touch. You get the shooter's touch. It's like playing indoors, but you're outdoors and you're in the sun with your mates, and it's free, you know. And that is the vision that I see in terms of the facilities built. Now, we've made it our mission at the Sydney Supersonics to have 1,000 courts built Sydney-wide, and that includes courts in your own home. Any hooper would be like, if I could get a court in my house, wow. You know, instead of getting a pool, pay less money to get a court in your house. Be like the Ball family. Look at the Ball family. 3 of them playing in the NBA now, making millions and millions of dollars. Talk about the return on investment in that court. That court probably cost them, I don't know, 30 grand or something like that. And now they've all made at least 100 million. I think Lonzo or LaMelo signed a contract for like a few $100 million with Reebok. Yeah, sure, they're a talented family, but I mean, that investment in a court so that you can shoot and dribble and have somewhere to play and light the fire, is that worth it? So, I mean, that's just individually. And then what we want to provide is the opportunity for you to kind of lobby your council, provide the demand to get these courts built. So you can lobby a council and say, hey, look, you know, we want a court in our area. We want to play more, and we don't use this court because it's terrible. And we want to create that demand and show councils that they need to invest this money and that it would have a massive impact on the community. You know, we've seen it ourselves in some parts of country Australia where a court's been built and people come from hours away. Look at the court that we have in Darwin. It's right next to a swim centre, and people drive 40, 50 minutes to get there, and they love it. You know, they're connected with facilities out there, and it just provides an opportunity to, you know, boost the economics of an area as well. If people are coming there to play basketball, then you can get businesses around. You can get a basketball store set up. You can get cafes set up, and people are going to connect around that. And it really is about like building the communities and creating the communities, because basketball, it's a cultural thing. And why is it so popular in America? Because it's the culture in America that, you know, allows it to succeed. You know, it's the NBA culture. It's the the hip hop, the street and urban feel that it provides. You know, it's all that stuff that we see and we're like, man, that is awesome. Like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, getting out and, you know, doing all the stuff that really makes basketball special. And you're like, phew, that is awesome. I love to see that. And that's why the NBA is so popular. And that's what we want to bring to Sydney. You know, get that street culture connected. Get awesome music to the events. Get events happening where we play a tournament, say once a week across Sydney. You know, there's a tournament in Bankstown this week, and the team in the elite category can win $2,000, and everyone in the team, if there's 4 players, gets, you know, $500 for the weekend. And then after the tournament, everyone kind of hangs out, gets drinks somewhere at a bar. You know, for the younger guys, they've got a little food being put on, they've got music playing, they can watch the seniors, and, you know, they're connecting with coaches during the week and improving their game. And it's just a whole vibe when you're out there. And, you know, like, say a store comes out and sells their clothes, sells their merch, and everyone's just getting around the Sydney Supersonics and what they provide. And then, you know, like, when enough of these tournaments are running and there's an elite team for Sydney Supersonics, and that team is competing all across the world. They're competing across Australia, you know, doing well, and the fans are getting behind it. And then that team travels overseas. Like the team that we just played last weekend from the Philippines, they came out here from, their name was the Zamboanga Valentines, I think. And I think it was the Valentines. But regardless, they came out here from the Philippines and had a couple guys from Australia, and there was 2 Filipino professionals. And they shared it on national TV, and it had millions of people watching it. And that game is on Facebook, and we can put that link up on our Facebook page if people want to see that. But it was a real cool game, and it was awesome to play against the Filipino guys, and they've made all these montages, and they've got the support base. You know, you go to the Philippines, and it's madness. They love basketball. And that's what we can create in Sydney. You know, like, I think basketball really is the only true international game that's played everywhere. I think soccer, yes, it is an international game, but there are certain parts of the world that just don't really resonate with soccer, whereas basketball really is across the world. And basketball can be played in the streets, whereas soccer, like, it's kind of hard to play street soccer. I mean, yes, it is done, but basketball can be played anywhere. I mean, I guess soccer and basketball probably need, like, similar amounts of equipment, but it's really hard to, I think, improve your soccer game on your own, whereas basketball, you can almost improve to an unlimited amount. And this is something that we're going to connect people with our coaching. On your own, and basketball is probably one of the best games to individually develop at. You know, it really is a function of how hard you work. Yes, sure, height is a big element to it, but, you know, look at some of the best players in the NBA at the moment. Steph Curry, people in the point guard position, they are athletically talented, but the thing that separates them is their skill and their ability to dribble and shoot. And those 2 things, dribbling and shooting, are simply how hard you work. And so, really, the vision that we see is a city where basketball is being played on every street corner. You know, where you can go out on a weekend and get a good quality game in every single suburb with a group of blokes or a group of girls. I shouldn't say blokes because I'm a guy, but I should say a group of people who want to play, who are getting out there and making it happen, who include everyone. Where there's, you know, a person who runs things in that suburb or in that area, and, you know, there's people with their own courts and they're getting their mates over and they're playing basketball, but a person who runs that and owns it, and then they connect with the Sonics. You know, the Sonics provides the central development. You know, we have the kind of frameworks that you need to develop a basketball, and we can help you with the coaching and connect you with the best resources and sift through the crap. And then you guys can just get out and focus on the playing side of things. And, you know, if you want to really take it to the next level, then we provide the opportunity for you to make it to the world tour, and we provide the opportunity for you to be able to connect with the best minds in basketball and, you know, the best forms of training and all that kind of stuff. And we help you get ranking points through our events and everything like that. And really, it's just about, you know, providing an awesome experience of basketball. And if you're a fan, you know, it's giving you the music and the bars and the offers and connecting you with things that make basketball special and healthy living. And that is what we see with 3-on-3 basketball. And Serbia is doing that at the level of the player, but it's not doing it at the level of, you know, providing you with awesome opportunities to connect beyond basketball. And so in Sydney, we have a unique opportunity to do both. We can connect you with the best things available in our city, and we can also have the best streetball culture. You look in Melbourne, you know, they've got streetball tournaments, summer jam, all that kind of stuff, and you can get a pickup game virtually anywhere. So we can do what Melbourne's doing and add to that even more. And you know, that is what we see with Sydney basketball, and that is the vision for the Sydney Supersonics. Now there's more specifics within that, but you know, like I hope that people realise that at the end of this, if you take away that, look, 3-on-3 basketball is the way to play. It's going to be a development tool for your 5-on-5 and allow you to reach your highest potential, and it is going to be the most fun you can have on the basketball court if you're just simply trying to get out there and play. It's a better way to play, and I can guarantee you that. You just got to get out there and play it and try it, and you'll be hooked. Trust me. And then the other thing that we want to get across is that, you know, we're going to have a team that's playing in the World Tour. By playing and getting involved with basketball and building courts, that's going to help our country reach the Olympics for 3-on-3 in the males and females. And at the moment, we didn't qualify for the males because we didn't play enough. So you're going to be able to get behind our Australian Olympic team and make that happen. And then, you know, finally, and probably most importantly, is it's going to be fun. You know, all the tournaments are fun. It's about connecting. It's about creating an experience of basketball that you guys want, that we all want as players. You know, it's the stuff that's missing in 5-on-5. As I said, 5-on-5 benefits the elite, and we don't want to just benefit the elite. We want to benefit everyone involved. And so that is my little pitch on what we want to create with the Sydney Supersonics. So I hope that's been something for you guys, and apologies about the audio quality, but you know, we make it happen anyway.